Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. On the channel today, we're checking out the return of another pop culture property from yesteryear, a lost toy line from the 80s that still has something of a cult following today. I'm talking about the Army Ants. That's right. Guys, this reboot is being officially brought to you by S3D Toys and East Coast Toys, and we're going to be checking out the details of this relaunch in today's video, so stick around. Now, Hasbro produced the Army Ants line in 1987 as a series of tiny, non-posable 2-inch tall figures with a militaristic theme. Although the word non-posable might not seem fun or appealing, in reality, the concept has been very popular and thriving for decades, starting all the way back with things like those classic little green man soldiers. Now, those were not posable, but they had a lot of personality, and you could build huge armies of them easily. Now, in this case here, instead of soldier men, think humanoid ants instead. And yes, we got a whole army of them that was divided into teams of orange and blue. Hasbro released these in multi-packs, with most of the special teams packed on blister cards with up to 3 or even 8 figures each. Now, the orange ants were led by General Batant, right? While the blue ants were led by General MacAnter. Okay, get it? Ha. Now, their squadrons were not generic ant soldiers either. Just like Hasbro did with their G.I. Joe and Transformers brands, they gave each of the ants their own individual code names. Sometimes even the same code names as members of the Joes or Transformers, as you could see here with the soldier ants that came with names like Stalker or even Bone Crusher. Now, what made Army Ants extra special was the fact that the figures came with separate and unique accessories for each character, and these are also very easily lost, making these either a nightmare or a dream quest for collectors. Anyway, the goal of the Ant Armada was simple: to squash each other out. In other words, total annihilation. Now, this is also spelled out in the main tagline that you will see plastered on the packaging, where it says here, "They've got guts, you squish and squash." Now, firstly, these guys certainly have the guts to straight up destroy the enemy. But the other unique feature of the Army Ants figurines is that they all come with rear abdomen sections, which are supposed to be part of their gut systems, I guess. Yeah, and which are made out of this soft, squishable material. I guess it's also supposed to be their weak spot and a means for them to either obliterate the enemy or be obliterated. The Army Ants were short-lived in their initial run, but you did see the trend of figures like these continuing into the 90s with things like Matchbox's Monster in My Pocket. Now, these guys did not have features like accessories or any other added gimmicks, and they definitely did not have any posability. But just like the Army Ants, what they did have was a whole lot of attitude. And now we have both East Coast Toys and SD3 Toys scheduled to bring the Army Ants officially back in 2026, just 1 year away from the brand's 40th anniversary, in fact. Now, here we have an early look at the prototype sample for one of their figure packs, which is just drenched in retro style goodness. Everything from the sculpt and style of the figures to that of the cardback design, artwork and colors, everything here homages the original release from the 80s. And that's really been the proven formula for every retro toy line that's made a comeback, including most recently Mask. Now, the set has 4 figures, 2 respectively from both the orange and blue army teams, and of course we have both the leaders here too, Generals Panther and MacAnter. Everything you need to lead off your collection, and plus the set will also include an exclusive mini comic. More details on that to come later. However, before all of that, they have something truly special scheduled as part of the official return of the Army Ants brand. They've got a full-sized comic book release that will give you an insight into the origin of the conflict between these two ant armies. And what's really awesome looking is that the cover that they have up for the first issue is a homage to one of the greatest first issue debuts of the 80s, G.I. Joe issue number 1. Right? I love this. You can sign me up for it right now. So guys, that's the video. There'll be more updates on all of these in the weeks to come, I'm sure. In the meantime, I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. Let me know what you think of the return of army ants. Were you a fan of the toys back in the day? And what do you think of the reboot? Drop your comments below, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Thank you, and take care out there.